What is this? How you doing? Okay, today it's nice and sunny again, of course. This video is for my friend Paul Barger, the bread man. You know, the got the bread van. He had a problem there last week or so, and all the bolts in his bell housing stripped. Well, I'm going to tell you how to fix that. So, not everybody's like me. I have a Helix Coil Kit. As you'll see, I got everything from quarter up to ½ inch. And when you have a kit like this, it's pretty easy. You can do anything. Now, like for people like Paul that don't have Helix Coil kits and you need a Helix Coil kit, I call it Helix Coils. They got a whole bunch of names for it. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, any automotive place like that, and you could buy a kit. Now you can buy different kits. You can buy a kit that comes with the tap, the inserter, and the drill bit. Okay, so this is a 5/16 kit. It comes with the drill, the installer, the threader, and the Helix coils. Now the Helix coils you can get, there's the permacoil, Helix coil, same thing. You can get them in a little bag, like this one here has got I think 10 in it, right? So these are just the coils, because you got the inserter and all that, you don't need it. So if you don't, just buy them like this, and you can buy them anywhere. Like I got ½ inch, I got 1/4 inch, 3/8, 5/16, ½ inch fine, 8mm, 10mm, and 12mm. Now 12mm, you're saying, what the hell's he got 12mm for? Well, Volkswagen wheel studs. So anyway, and what they come with is key, which is the inserter, a tap, and all that. Now what I do is, you got to have one of them tap tools. I don't have one of them. So what I do is I push a nut on there, like a ½ inch nut or a 3/8 nut or whatever, and just slide it on there. Then use a socket. Okay? Now, I don't know if we can see this out in the sunlight, but if you look at it'll say Helix coil on it. It'll say 5/16, and the number of it is an 813, and it says use drill bit C. Okay? Or very close to it, which is 21/64, which we got right here. So 21/64, a tap, inserter, and the coil. Now what I did was, I just got a piece of junk out of Brad's garage because it worked really good. This is kind of funny. This is an old pump piece, right? But what happens is you got a 5/16 bolt in your bell housing or whatever, and it goes in and gets stripped out. Okay? So like what Paul did was pretty ingenious. He put it through there and put a nut on it, which is all right. Now if you want to put the threads back in it. Now we're going to put the threads back in this housing so that you can put a 5/16. Now you can put Helix coils into everything. The chances of it going into steel are pretty slim, because steel usually doesn't strip out. But if it does, you can put a Helix coil in it. Mostly what they're used for is aluminum and magnesium, soft metals, because the bolts you're putting in are steel and the threads are aluminum, so they strip out. So anything with aluminum, like on all the heads on the junior cars, the 5 horsepower heads, when we buy them, we take the head off, Helix coil the whole head to 5/16 course, and then we never have a problem with a stripped hole. Because the last thing you want is to go in eliminations and you got a stripped hole in the head. So that's what we do. So what we do is very simple. Now in this case we kind of lucked out because it's 21/64, right? So this is kind of funny because this piece here is exactly 21/64. Okay? So then what you do is you use rapid tap, right? Or some oil, any kind of oil. Put the rapid tap on there. Now, just remember If you start it crooked, it'll go crooked. So you put the tap in there and get it as straight as you can. Okay? And get it as straight as you can, and you start it very gently. Right? Because you don't want to pull the threads out, right? And if you use the right drill, it's fairly easy. Okay, and now you go in as far as you want. You can go in as far as the thread. You can go right through if you want. It doesn't matter. Okay, and then you just take it out. Now you're probably sitting there wondering what the hell. This is how hard it is. Just what you're seeing. That's as hard as it is, right? Now the idea behind a heli coil is this, is that it's machined perfectly. So what it does, and everybody as a kid probably did this, you've played with a spring. And you take a spring and you tighten it up, it'll get smaller and let it go and it comes back. Well, that's basically what you do. Now see, right here there's a metal piece on the plastic so that it'll go up against there. You screw the heli coil on there until it's right there, right? And that's what, now you got to go gently because that's plastic and steel, right? So then what you do, just give it a little break, clean it out. Now, this here is plastic, so you got to be very careful. You put it in there and you start turning it, and then you turn it in. Okay? Like so. Now all you have to do is put it to the surface. Now for some reason, if you can't get it below the surface, just take a grinder and tap that off. Now, I don't know if we can see this or not, but can you get a picture of that, El? That tang sticking down? There's a tang in there. That little tang that it drives on, right? You drive it in, you have to take that off. So what you basically do is just get a screwdriver and put it close to the body and just bang it off, okay? And the little tang will come off like so, right there. That's the tang. So right now it's totally inserted. Now you put your 5/16 bolt in there and it goes perfect. Now this is what I'm going to show you. This is aluminum, and you know anybody like Z-Man or anybody will tell you that you can strip aluminum really easy. So I'm going to show you something that'll just blow your mind. Oops, the other way around. Okay. I'm going to put this in there. Now, this here would only take like 20 or 30 pounds pressure, okay? And it'll probably go, right? It'll probably break off. Now, I'm going to put about 40 foot-pounds on there, and just look at that. That's as tight as I can go. That's probably 40, 45 pounds of pressure, and that never stripped out. That's how good heli coils are. They are worth it. They're weight in gold. They can save you a ton of money, because you take a look at, for instance, Paul's bell housing adapter that he's got on his bread van. That's probably a $200 piece. And for probably 40 bucks, he can fix it. So that's the story on a heli coil. And if you go to heli coil, I'm sure they have way better videos. I'm just showing you the backwoods way to do it. And that's how I do this everywhere. Like, you can do it anywhere. You don't need a factory to do this. You can do it anywhere. And these have saved me so much money. It is unbelievable. That's why I carry a kit. So if you got any questions, put them down below. And I'll answer them for them. And yes, Paul, I'll still stand by my offer. When we come down in November, I'll redo your bell housing for you. So we have all the heli coils here for it, and that's my offer later. People ask me about how to get bolts out. The easiest way I find to get bolts out is with left-handed drill bits. Now, if you go to Mac or anybody, Mac or Snap-on or anybody, they'll have a 5-piece mechanics link cobalt left-handed drill bits. And what happens on the left-handed drill bit, you get the drill bit, and when you're going in reverse, right? So when it catches the edge, it'll pull it right out. Now you can get the left-handed. These are straight. These are really good for brass. If you got broken brass fittings or something like that, is you bang one of them in, it digs in and turns it out. And then you got this here kit, which is a left-hand extractor kit. So what it does is you drill it with the drill and then use the extractor. Now a trick with these here is don't get it hot, but just heat it up with a propane torch a bit, the hole, and then put the extractor in and you'll find it'll come out a lot easier. And then this one here is just the extractor bit, drill. And then on the pouch it gives you the size of drill to use. You drill it that size and that's what the extractor uses for, right? They're all marked like that. So yeah, that's just a couple sides. See, this one's a twist one, right? And this is a square fluted one. This only got 4 sides, right? So this is really made for soft metal. So you just tap it in these ones here. The more you turn it, the tighter it gets. And then it'll eventually, hopefully it'll get it out. Those are the 4 pieces I use mostly to get broken bolts out. If they're not in there, if they're not stripped in there, you're all right. If they're stripped, it's a whole different ball game. And the thing is the more you drill it, the more surface tension will be relieved. So if you put a little hole in there, it won't take much out. But if you drill it almost to thread, you're good. Okay? Just leave that with you.